Just a few years back, condo games on Roblox were pretty obscure. They were hidden deep within the platform. If you stumbled across one, it meant you'd really gone down a rabbit hole. These early versions were simple and didn't offer many features. Their fan bases were relatively small, and it was rare to see a condo player in regular Roblox games. But things changed. Gradually, condo games started to gain traction, spreading through the community. Developers were creating more servers, and games started popping up more frequently. Around this time, I noticed the trend and decided to do some investigation myself. Since these games were still growing, their security wasn't exactly ironclad. I found ways to backdoor them and could log every message within these uploads. For months, I gathered data, eventually deciding to pull the plug on their operations and took down their servers. This process repeated with 3 more servers before security on these games began to tighten. While my efforts slowed things down, it didn't stop the wave. Condo games were being uploaded en masse, and the scene kept expanding. My efforts were just the beginning of what would become a major epidemic. Today, condo games are everywhere. Each day, around 100 or more condo games are uploaded, and the quality of these games has significantly improved. Their features have become more sophisticated, making them feel more realistic than ever. Developers have adapted to every challenge thrown at them, making these games incredibly resilient to shutdown attempts. Now, these games often last for days before Roblox steps in to ban them. But this is only the tip of the iceberg. Increasingly, condo players are showing up in regular games meant for kids, bringing inappropriate and sometimes unnaturally lewd characters with them. This has unfortunately exposed young players to images and behaviors far outside what Roblox was intended for. Many children have been left confused or even disturbed by what they've seen. Yet Roblox has largely failed to address this problem. Despite the scale of the issue, the platform still struggles to crack down on condo players and the spread of these games effectively. With Roblox struggling to crack down on these games and users, many players have found ways to exploit the platform further. Recently, some players have started experimenting with the Roblox catalog, discovering just how lenient the marketplace can be with NSFW content. This has led to a surge of inappropriate items being uploaded, visible to all users regardless of age. These items range from adult film references to explicit body parts meant for sexual content. With such leniency, new NSFW items are being added daily, exposing younger users to inappropriate content at an early age. To make money, content developers have also started creating groups on Roblox with paywalls tied to the group ranks. These ranks are linked to condo games, giving players special permissions like admin. These groups often fly under the radar because of their design, and although groups like Mod for Dummies have been calling out these practices for some time, Roblox has yet to make meaningful action. For this next segment of the video, I will be interviewing an ex-condo developer. This developer has requested to remain anonymous, so during this interview, their voice will be altered to conceal their identity. I guess I could start just saying, how did you feel about the whole community?
When I was, you can put this in the video, I'm 18 now. When I was around 13 or 14, the first thing, the first step into this community was me essentially seeing one of my friends were in a game. I was like, okay, I want to join him. I said, what is this? He was like, I don't know what this is. So the first thing I noticed was there was no filter. Okay, and that's the problem. It's not more so about the morphs or any of the behavior. It's the problem with children will end up in an area like that, like I did, and they'll be like, oh, wow, this place is so cool, there's no filter. I can say whatever I want. And you don't see the danger of that until it's too late. So what ended up happening was basically I started treating this game as if it was like a social community, like a hangout for me. I would be able to say whatever I wanted. The games would go down, yeah, but the ones that I was in, the moderation wasn't as good. And that's the problem, because I started to grow up with this. It just exposes you to something you don't even realize, like how bad it is. Like, it took so long for me to finally grasp onto it, like, what am I doing with my life? I was like, what am I doing? And the thing is, I'm ashamed to admit, but I will admit that these types of community, this type of game, is what develops an addiction, which is very harmful for a person in the Roblox community, because a Roblox addiction, that's probably the worst one. That's the worst one you get, because a Roblox addiction means either two things. You're either looking at Roblox Rule 34, or you're actually actively doing it with people. So, in my teenage years, I was doing this stuff. I was like, okay, this is okay. I was like, it's just for fun. Like, I was like, the first times it happened, you'll notice, people convince their friends to be like, oh no, it's just for jokes, just for fun. Check this out, look what I can do. And then it just evolves into addiction. The longer I spent in that community, we're moving on to when I was 16 or 17. It has bad, influence on your thoughts, your behavior. I've done some stuff that I'm very not proud of. I will never be proud of. And I am continuing to just renounce the things that I've done. I am not happy with myself for those actions. The owner of the community that I was in, it's a very big community, but the owner of this community, he continues based off of fear and extortion. So when you become a staff, or when you're known in this community, he will compile as much evidence as possible, and he will actively make an effort to threaten to get your account deleted, or even worse, threaten to dox you, swat you, or extort you if you try to do anything against the community. That's why when I stepped out of the community that I was in, when I stepped out of that, I was very close under covers, because I didn't want to, at any time, I didn't want to be extorted because he knew my address. But this could be just anything. The owners will sometimes compile stuff on you just so that you don't go behind them. And what you'll notice, the problem with that is, you'll find a lot of disgusting things that go on behind the scenes. I saw one of our developers, he was flirting with a girl while he's he's 19. So I stepped out and I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, it's I'm just testing out the animation. When I spoke to the owners about this, they were like, we need him. We need him to stay with us, despite all this, despite that developer being. And there's just nothing you can do about it, because in the end, it's just about making money and keeping the community up no matter who's running it. The only people who are stepping in the way of the condo communities right now are moderation for dummies. Like, Roblox hasn't been doing anything compared to the amount that moderation for dummies has actually. In fact, I would rather say most of the investigated or any interaction in these communities has been moderation for dummies. And that's just crazy to think about, because a multi-billion-dollar company, you would expect something like that to actually do something about it.
To this day, Roblox Condo games continue to be developed and played. With advanced security measures and an almost untouchable status, these games are nearly impossible to shut down without Roblox's direct intervention. Content creators like Ruben Sim have made an effort to bring more awareness to this issue. He's even created the ERP directory, a list of human-reviewed accounts involved in explicit roleplay. As of the time of this video, the directory contains over 18,000 confirmed ERP accounts. At times, it may seem like all hope is lost, as Roblox appears to do little to nothing to stop these communities from spreading. But just when things seem darkest, a new light emerges. While Roblox executives may overlook the issue, the media hasn't. Recently, Ruben Sim's ERP directory has gained significant attention, becoming the focus of numerous news articles. Journalists from various outlets have reached out to him to discuss this epidemic that is threatening Roblox's reputation. The list has even made its way to the UK House of Commons. With so much attention on this issue, I knew I had to do more to help. I gathered a team of some of the smartest people I know, and together we got to work. After days of intense research, we discovered a major exploit that could significantly disrupt condo games. A vulnerability so impactful that condo creators have no way to defend against it. Using this discovery, we started logging every single player who joined a condo game, collecting hundreds of account details and sending them to Ruben Sim to be added to the ERP directory. But this is only the beginning. We've also identified multiple backdoors that allowed us to shut down these games. Each step we take brings us closer to creating a safer environment for all Roblox players, proving that there is still hope in this fight.